You're listening to the Sports Scramble Podcast, where four friends serve up a weekly plate of sports with a side of SEC bias. Now, here are your hosts, Chet, Jacob, Wade, and Tyler.
Let's go!
Welcome in, everybody, to this week's episode of the Sports Scramble Podcast, brought to you by Belly Up Sports. Got Tyler, Wade on tonight. Jacob's MIA, nowhere to be found, so we're not doing the Big Ten preview. We teased everybody with it, but we'll be doing it hopefully next week when he returns. But how y'all doing? Kind of a lull in the sports season going on right now.
Yep, a lull, but not a lull for me, as the virtual world is doing just fine. But man, I'll tell you what, I don't know if anybody out there is doing online dynasty, but we are having some troubles trying to get this thing started. We had to start over again because we only had a couple of teams with 11 games, and we got it all figured out. And what does EA does? Their servers are not working on online dynasty. We cannot start this. So hopefully the next couple of days we can finally start this and get this rolling.
Yeah, I guess to be expected. Wade, you told me there was over 900,000 people playing College Football 25 this weekend. Pretty insane. I don't think even they were anticipating that.
Yeah, it's just generations of football fans getting on there playing. I mean, the game just has a chokehold on everybody between the ages of 18 and 40. So,
Yeah.
Combine that with the strategic release during a time when there's literally no sports. The baseball was on their all-star break this week, so it was good timing. And yeah, I think everybody's just getting back into the swing of things with the game.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's been a while since I played a college football game. You know, Neil, look, he's watching us while he's playing NCAA. What team are you using in your dynasty, Neil? Let us know. But trying to give the most authentic experience with the All-American. I'm not even touching Heisman because it's not worth it. Throw it on freshmen every now and then just to get some anger out. But it's fun. There's definitely some quirks that need to be worked out, as is any new game. But it's good to have back. I'm just happy I'm not playing Call of Duty anymore, because that was enough to make you want to throw your controller through a TV. But when you miss an extra point to win a game, that makes you want to throw your controller through a TV too. So hopefully we'll get some dynasty going soon with some Twitch live streams. So make sure you subscribe over there, and we'll be posting stuff on our YouTube. So make sure you subscribe over here. But we're not going to spend, we'd spent the last couple of weeks breaking down all of the EA rankings. Strength of stadium or, crowd noise is no joke. I mean, you try to call audibles, your players don't hear you. They run the wrong routes. You throw an interception. Your O-line misses a block. I mean, it's just, Tyler.
You can't stop anybody to save your life on defense.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 29, and they're getting it.
It's like you're playing with LSU's defense of last football season. They will convert every third down. They will just run through tackles. I mean, it's insane. It's basically score every drive, and last person with the ball wins. It's just like you're an LSU fan. So, but stay tuned for that to come in the future. Let's see. We've got some fun things tonight for the Olympics that are kicking off on Friday with their opening ceremonies. Wade has put together an Olympic draft for the four of us. We'll be picking Futch's teams for him. And then we also have some previews for Fantasy Football Corner. Tyler, I believe it's the top wide receivers this go around. And then some British Open talk that wrapped up, which I don't think any of us watched it because it was going on at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I was still sleeping while all of it was going on. I think Jacob asked if I wanted to bet. I was like, nope, not going to be watching it, so I'm not going to be betting on it.
I placed a couple live bets there at the end. Neither one panned out. But let's talk about it. Xander kind of comes out of nowhere on Sunday and just shot a stress-free 65. Wins the British Open on the back nine. 2 majors of the year. And what I wanted to ask y'all was, obviously Scottie is Scottie. He wins the Masters. Xander wins the PGA. Because Scottie got arrested. Let's be honest. Scottie was going to win that thing if he does not get arrested. Scottie then wins like every PGA tournament in between. He's a system golfer. If you think about it, any PGA elevated event, PGA tournament, he's winning. When he goes to these majors, of course, he wins at Augusta. He's won it before. Almost wins at the PGA. Like I said, if he doesn't get arrested. U.S. Open, not a great showing from the Scott man. Bryson DeChambeau takes that. And then going across the pond, Scottie was do what?
Don't remind me.
Yeah. Going across the pond, a really good showing from Scottie, but Xander just had it going Saturday when the conditions were tough, like 20-mile-an-hour winds. He shoots 69, and then 65 or 66 on Sunday to basically win it in the back nine. So my question with the resumes this year, Xander with the 2 major wins, Scottie with the 1, but he's also got like the 7 PGA tournament wins. Who at this point takes golfer of the year?
I think you can make a case for anybody the way that you look at it. I think that Xander has the advantage of major championships just because of the level that he's been playing this year, winning the PGA championship and also the Open. Those are the 2 hardest events to win in the calendar year. And then Scottie Scheffler, he's had his fair share of wins. So I'm going to go with the guy that hasn't screwed me over in betting this year. I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele. I think that he's really been consistent this year. I think it's Scottie wins everything. I think that Xander Schauffele, if you give him a vote for golf of the year, I think he's been really consistent in every golf tournament that he's played this year, especially majors. So give me golf of the year to Xander Schauffele. I think that everybody loves Scottie Scheffler, but I think that this has been Xander's year.
Yeah, I think the majors hold a little more weight in terms of, I guess, that category. But I'm not going to give my pick just yet. Wade, what do you think?
We already know who's going to pick.
I got to go the other way. I got to go with Scottie just in terms of volume. It's hard to go win a golf tournament each and every week. And I get it. The field's not what it was with some of the live guys not playing anymore and then some guys skipping out on the smaller events. But it's still hard to put together 4 competitive rounds of golf and win something wire to wire like he's done so often this year. And I just think he's going to get rewarded for that. And honestly, when is the last time somebody's come even close to winning 10 in a year? And he's pretty dang close. So
yeah, and I hear your points there too. But I think the more impressive is the 2 major wins with the full weight of the field, right? PGA Championship and the Open. You have the live guys in there, the contenders. Now, granted, a lot of the live. Bryson was not a contender in this past week's tournament. Shot like 12 over, missed the cut. But I think winning the majors is a little more impressive. And it's not like, Xander's been like top 5, top 10 in almost every event. But if the FedEx Cup comes around and Scottie takes that whole shebang and wins that, I think it's Scottie, no question. But Xander winning the 2 majors is definitely impressive. So he definitely would have my vote at this moment. So let us know in the comments who your golfer of the year would be if it were to end now. Before we get to our next segment with the Olympic draft, I want to talk about some dog of the week. So we got to play the theme music. Here we go.
Woof, woof.
That was going to be way smoother. Here we go.
Let's get one of your dogs.
Couldn't find the clip to play.
Are you waiting for Walter to make a guest appearance?
Yeah, I didn't know. Nico's sitting here by
He's being quiet today.
So dog of the week, Wade, take it away.
I'm gonna give it to Teoscar Hernandez. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna talk baseball on the baseball off week, but here I am. He took the home run derby crown and was a huge underdog. He was the last guy invited to the event. Had to ask for the spot. He had a really good first half of the season, hit nearly 20 home runs, but of course he was a little overshadowed by Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts. But he's having a fantastic year, and he won the competition by 1 home run over Bobby Witt. So kudos to Teoscar, and I think it was more of a language barrier thing. But when they asked him, how did it feel watching Bobby Witt hit the ball and come so close, he said, well, I was just hoping he would miss it. And I don't think that he meant it in that context, but if he did, even more so, a dog.
It's got that dog in him. Yeah, it's just relentless competitor. Yeah, kudos to you for watching the home run derby because we were all playing.
It was very long.
Dude, I played 10 hours of college football that day.
I did watch the first inning of the All-Star game. Watched Paul Skeens pitch. Watched
See,
him
I
walk
missed
off
that. I was
the
at volleyball.
Yeah, got Aaron Judge out. I was like, fingers crossed, Aaron Judge wasn't going to hit a nuke off the helm because I knew that was all we were going to hear for the rest of the year. Tyler, who's your dog of the week?
I haven't given this team a dog of the week, and they deserve it. And that's my fantasy baseball team. Wake and piss off with having a
Your
2
second place team, Tyler. Second
You know
place?
what? I have a gripe about what we're doing with this fantasy baseball season. This scoring system is absolutely stupid. I think I only have 2 losses, and how the hell am I?
It was
in
pretty good
second
last
place?
week when you were in first, huh?
Yeah, well, you to the playoffs. So I'm going to get you in fantasy football too this year. You're going to be back in the toilet bowl where you belong.
I agree with you, Tyler. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but I think that they deserve the dog of the week. The fact that we're 14 weeks into this, only have 2 losses. That's pretty dang impressive. No matter how you cut it, whether that's fantasy baseball, basketball, whatever you play, only having 2 losses this far. So yeah, definitely deserving of a division lead right now. But since we're playing this awful scoring system, we're getting robbed over here.
Yeah, that's
we're number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, yes, we are. We're probably going to be in the championship because everyone else sucks in this league.
It's isn't that like a Seattle Mariners league or something that y'all joined?
Well, that's just the name of it. But the scoring system, there's 11 stats, and you're playing head to head for a point in each stat. So like if I hit 20 home runs in a week and Tyler's team hits 5, I get a point for the home runs. But Tyler's gripe is that he's won. You also get like a end of the week result. So like he's like 9-2 or whatever, 12-2 on the year, but he's won a lot closer games. He'll like win like 6 categories. His opponent will win like 5. I've lost 4 games, but I've also won 3 of my matchups like 10-0.
I like it playing classic. None of this modern scoring crap. Like I'm ready for fantasy football at this point. I'm over this scoring system.
Well, we'll have fantasy football coming here soon enough. We need to discuss when we're going to have our draft. I mean, we got time.
Probably in a month.
Got my first one announced for August 25th, so it's coming.
All right, so we'll do ours August 25th, so we can screw over Wade.
Fine. Just do them all in one day.
I'm sticking with the baseball. I'm sticking with the baseball for the dog of the week, and it's funny you mentioned Seattle Mariners because I'm giving it to Yordan Alvarez for hitting for the cycle against the Seattle Mariners. He started off with a nice single up the right side. Then he hit a nuke, as Yordan usually does. We actually watched him hit a nuke 2 years ago against Seattle.
Two summers ago against Seattle.
Yeah, when the Astros beat him like 13-2.
At the time of my old pitcher, Ravi Ray.
Yeah. And then the triple was actually pretty impressive. I thought it was
That's
a nuke
big
off
man running for 3.
Yeah. Thought it was a nuke off the bat. Left fielder actually robbed the home run, but as he hit the wall, dropped it. And Yordan had the wheels rolling, stand-up triple, and then a double down the first base line to complete the cycle. So it's never easy to hit for the cycle. It's definitely ain't easy for a big man like that to hit a triple. So mine's going to Yordan Alvarez for hitting the cycle last night against the Mariners. So dog of the week. Oh, no, Neil's just saying that his draft is a Saturday of Labor Day, so he will be doing it from Vegas, possibly at the blackjack table.
Okay.
So Neil's going to be drunk and draft Marcus Mariota in the first round.
He's going to draft the wrong McCaffrey.
He's going to take Luke McCaffrey in the first round.
What's his brother's name?
Luke.
Okay, at least it doesn't start with a C.
He's going to take Brian Robinson and Luke McCaffrey 1-2.
Hey, I mean, Brian Robinson wouldn't be that bad of a pick, though.
But I'd rather be John Robinson as my number 2 pick.
Yep.
Wade, take it away with the Olympic draft.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Do we have the theme music? Do, 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 do.
I don't know. Where's our
I'm not used to leading
barrier
events here, so bear with me.
All
right. Let's get into it. So we thought it would be fun to keep tabs on the 2024 Summer Olympics here on the show with our viewers. And
Woo!
what better way to do it than a draft? Because we love fantasy sports. So yeah, we all got together, put together some rules, and we decided on a 3-round snake draft, just like we do for football. And the points are going to be pretty simple. No half points, quarter points, categories for stats, none of that crap.
Thank the Lord.
3
points for a gold medal, 2 points for a silver medal, and 1 point for bronze. And that will be for both the individual events and the team medals. So, a soccer finals appearance for gold or silver would count just as much as that 3 a.m. table tennis.
Yes.
And that's just the beauty of it, because the Olympics brings such a variety of sports and competitors. So we're excited about this. Nobody could pick the USA. We're all rooting for the home team, and let's just face it, the USA kicks ass. And
America is superior to every other country.
It's just not fair.
That's true.
It's just not fair. So no USA. We're all going to be cheering for them. We didn't want to have a situation where we were, rooting against our home country for this event. And then Russia and Belarus, sorry, they got caught for doping, so we will not be picking them.
Yep, don't
We're
travel.
already doing it better than the Olympic Committee.
Yeah,
They're out
so
here.
you will see the ROC in the standings, but we're just going to ignore them. So yeah, what we have here is the 4 of us, minus Jacob's not with us tonight. We have our gold round, which will be your first pick, your silver round, which will be your second pick, and your bronze round will round out the podium. So after we randomly generated, Chet, you have the honors.
Wow,
So
what a
who's
shocker.
the
Check
first
us the
country?
first pick again.
Give a round of applause, Tyler, to Wade for this beautiful presentation. And
I
the
love it.
thoughtfulness.
This is great.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
this
let the
is-
summer intern take over for the week, guys.
Yes, the creativity for the
This is his
gold,
1
silver,
week
and bronze.
project that we gave him. He absolutely nailed it.
You know what I was going to say at the beginning of the show when we were mentioning the Olympics, and I was going to say, we took last week off, obviously, and it's been a while since we last talked. We've had assassination attempt, a dropout of a president, and EA game is drops. But I guess that kind of goes with America is the best country in the world because it's never a dull weekend.
And we're still going to go in the
It's
Olympics.
a busy
Yes.
news week every
We're
week.
still going to kick ass in the Olympics, no matter who our
Heck yeah.
president is. So, with that being said, I'm taking China.
Yeah, wow. Go America. Woo!
Yes.
All right.
And it's mostly because of those 3 a.m. gold medals in table tennis. They're going to rack up the points. And disclaimer, we did this before, so we're not going to screw over Jacob. We have his picks, even though he won't be on the show.
No,
We're
we
not
screwed him
supposed to
over.
know it's rigged.
All right, Wade.
All right. With the second pick, I'm going to kick it over to the UK. I'm going to take Great Britain. They're pretty solid overall in the Summer Olympics. They've been top 5 in each of the last 2. Short travel. Got to go with Great Britain.
Jacob's going with someone who was also integral in World War II with Germany.
Going with the Germans.
Well, looking at my options here, there's quite a few plentiful countries that I could have gone with this 4th overall selection, but there's only one of them that I could see fighting with China for that number 2 spot. And it's their neighbors across the pond, and that is Japan. I think that this is going to be a team that wins gold medals in plenty, whether that's in artistic swimming, doubles, badminton, table tennis. You guessed it. So it's going to be Japan rounding out this gold medal round. So since this is a snake draft, I'll go again. And this is in Paris, France. I got to go with the home country. Give me France. Viva la France. Not a great showing for them at the Tokyo Olympics. They only had 36 Olympic medals. I think the home crowd and the home field advantage is going to help France get more medals this go around. So I think that France is definitely going to be a dark horse team that can be in that top 3 countries when it comes to overall top medals. So one of us had to go with the home country. We couldn't go this draft without France. So you might as well root for the home country to get it done this year.
Oh, I was looking at him, but snake draft, you snagged him. For Jacob's pick, he's hoping that pasta and pizza making is an event. He's going with Italy here.
Yep, Jacob takes the Italians. I'm going to go with a very similar flag here, and that's because this country derived from my first pick. And I'm going to go with Australia with the boys down under, boys and girls. Down under, they're a powerhouse in swimming and all the aquatic sports. So I think
They're not going to beat Katie Ledecky, though. Tell you that right now.
Yeah, no, definitely not. You could pick her as a country and probably do pretty good in this thing.
Yep.
Is she the shot put thrower for the U.S.?
No, she's the top swimmer.
She's a swimmer that can just beat everybody in the country.
She probably will get 10 medals on her own, so she would have been a good pick.
Yeah, I'll just take the country of Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, I'm thinking of this one girl. Was
Raven Saunders?
No, I was watching like the Olympic qualifiers. It was up in Oregon, and this chick was spinning around and slinging that thing. Like, I'm talking every record. She was just breaking her own records. It was insane. I don't remember her name, but shot put. Make sure to watch for that. I was inspired by Tyler's pick on this one. Looked at the list. They had a respectable 36 medals 4 years ago. Or I guess technically 3 years ago, right? It was in 2021. And it's just the flag rotated. Give me Netherlands. See, same flag as France, just rotated.
Hey, we're testing our geography skills here too. It's very important.
I think Wade really missed the opportunity coming up, as you're going to see, of not taking New Zealand. He could have just have like all three pretty similar flags.
I thought about it, but I was like, I need to get some.
Like, come on, you know that they're going to win in rugby. It's going to be them and Fiji.
I thought about it.
For my bronze pick, I'm going with no other than Brazil, because I was trying not to just give it up to the chalk, right? Was looking at they had a respectable 21 medals, and what's the guy's name from Brazil? The soccer Neymar. If he's leading the team out on the soccer pitch, which I highly doubt he is, but they're pretty good soccer, so I'm hoping I get a medal there.
Yeah. So as Tyler mentioned, I had a chance here to go for New Zealand. I just don't think the Kiwis are as good as the powerhouse that is South Korea. I mean, I got to compete with you guys on the hand sports, of archery and table tennis and handball and all the stuff that's on at like 4 a.m. And I think South Korea can do that. So
you know what's great? Sung Jae-im is also from South Korea.
Yes, he is probably playing in the golf tournament, and this is the time he'll win.
Let's see if he can qualify for the Olympics. Keep going. I'm going to look this up.
You didn't have that great of a year, so I don't know if that's a guarantee.
Well, the good news is the ladies' golf is very good in South Korea too.
No, he did not qualify for the Olympic Games.
Well, maybe another South Korean will come through for me, but
he's the top-ranked South Korean in the world. How did he not qualify? That's interesting.
Well, I'm still sticking with South Korea. Jacob, he's going to go with Hungary. This was a little bit of
just a flag pick, man.
Yeah, man. I think he saw that Italian flag, rotated it, was hungry when he made the pick. But yeah, they do really well in the old school Olympic events, like the decathlon and the triathlon, all the like Greco-Roman sports.
The basic ones. It's good.
Yeah. They're going to be hungry for those medals. All right, going down to this final pick, I had a couple options. In my heart, I wanted to go with Jamaica just because I can root for them in the track and field. But I just don't think that they're very respectable enough to be in this top. What was this? Would be top 12 countries in
maybe
this,
in the 15.
Maybe if we were there. But I'm going to go with a wild card pick. Usually, this team, if we were doing the Winter Olympics, they would probably be in the top 4 for sure. But you know what? Give me the Canadians. I think that they're going to bring all the maple syrup, all the Canadian bacon, all the way to Paris, France. They're going to have a good breakfast and get a lot of medals, as we have Japan, France, and Canada around at my top 3 to hopefully take home the gold medal.
I love it.
Yeah, good pick, Tyler.
I was Tyler. Basically, if your Jamaica pick, I looked at them also. Really, really hard to not grab Croatia, as we all know, that's the motherland for myself.
I grabbed my motherland, so we good. We got France and Canada.
Yeah, I mean, Croatia only won 8 medals last go around, and it's just not enough. Just not enough for me.
And the soccer team is not as good as it used to be either.
No, they are not. So we'll be checking in each week with the updated standings, what who won what and what sport. Is there an Olympic app? There needs to be an app like that
I
we
think
can
so.
Yeah,
track
there is.
our countries.
I mean, NBC Sports should have some coverage.
Yeah, so starting Friday, that thing's going to be on round clock in my household, and I'm going to be tuned in. 3:30 in the morning, China's playing table tennis. Boom, I'm watching.
Table tennis against Japan. We're going to be having
Taking notes. Speed walking. I mean, come on, like that one.
Can't forget about the canoe slalom.
Yes. I love the Winter Olympics with the bobsled. That's when you're picking Jamaica. You got to pick them for the Olympics.
Just for the story itself.
Yeah. But no, wait, this was great. You're going to be the honorary Olympic medal count updater. You have taken on that title. So get ready.
Good.
Make sure it's accurate, because if it's not accurate, we're coming for you. I don't want you jipping me on any medals.
We'll do a weekly check-in with our countries and I guess with the U.S.
There we go. I like it. Some Olympic news. Speaking of U.S., the men's basketball team, back-to-back close games. South Sudan almost upset the United States men's team, beat them 101-100 with a LeBron James last-second layup. We were 41.5-point favorites in that game, or something like that, 44-41. And then today against Germany with a late comeback, courtesy of Mr. LeBron James. He just shows up in the Olympics. Hate on him all you want during the NBA season.
He'll be the flag bearer, one of the flag bearers too. It was announced today.
Yeah, let's pause on that for a second. What's y'all's thoughts on that? My thought is it's such like
this is probably his last go round. So
I know, but he's got such a big stage. Like, give it to the people that this is their NBA finals. Like, I don't know if it just means as much to LeBron, but
I think it means a lot to him. But I bet you it's more of a media ploy. More people are going to tune in to see LeBron carry out the flag instead of some random swimmer that they don't know of,
Well, you don't even know the best swimmer in the world.
That's exactly. I might tune in to watch LeBron run out with this Aaron
put.
Rodgers moment, Just hope he doesn't tear his Achilles.
Like, Katie, I don't know, like, as good as LeBron is, you could make the argument that Katie Ledecky is bigger to swimming than LeBron is to basketball, which is
you
crazy.
could probably give all the swimmers like a 10-second head start, and she would still win.
She wins her events by like 30 seconds against
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know nothing
world-class
about this chick.
You just watch like one of her events, and like they have to go the TV broadcast has to go like full zoom just of how
You have to get two cameras, one for her and one for the pack.
Yeah, and then it's like she's mainly just competing with the world record line instead of her competitor. So yeah.
Obviously, LeBron's the bigger athlete, the bigger draw, and he's more famous worldwide. But I'm just saying, comparatively to the Olympics individually, I think that Katie Ledecky and some of these other athletes are, I don't know, more Olympic icons.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Simone Biles carrying the flag. She actually just had a show come out about her on Netflix. But she just wipes the floor with the competition. Like, I was watching the qualifiers. It's not even close. Like, or at least from a U.S. side. I'm sure the other countries may put up a little more fight. But this Katie Ledecky girl, I've never heard of her. So I'm going to be tuned in.
Oh, you're going to hear her. Just watch every swimming event that she's involved in, and you'll know her name.
Like, she could probably dominate in the events that she didn't even qualify for. Like, you can only swim in so many events, and she's maxed out.
Taking it back to the men's basketball team and these close wins that they've been having, do you think Steve Kerr's just like, look, guys, spot him 20. Let's have some adversity before we get into the actual Olympics. Let's
hope.
They do this
going through the motions. To be honest with you, they'll get a rematch with South Sudan again. They're in the group play with them. They'll get Serbia. That will be their first 2 games. Obviously, there's going to be.
Watch out,
France, I think, is definitely going to be one of the top teams that's going to contend with the gold medal. Maybe South Sudan as well. I mean, the way that they played, who knows? I mean, they could be, a Cinderella story of the Olympics. You just never know about the Olympics. I mean, any country can win the gold medal. But yeah, I think that obviously the USA is most talented. If you look at the betting lines, they're pretty much like a heavy favorite to win it all. So yeah, I would be shocked if they at least don't get on the podium. They won it a couple of years ago in Tokyo, so we'll see. They definitely have the squad to do it. I just think that they're coming off of a long NBA season. Maybe they're just going through the kinks once again in Paris. Hopefully, they just dominate the way that the teams of the past did.
Yeah, I mean, these are just exhibition games. You just get some practice in. I'm not worried. I really do think it was a game plan to, hey, let's spot these guys.
They probably just saw that they were like 40-point favorites. Like, all right, we could just show up. We could beat these guys by 30.
Well, they were wrong, but they still got the win. Yeah. And then on the WNBA side, of course, big news: Caitlin Clark wasn't picked, Angela Reese wasn't picked. So for the All-Star game, they said, "Hey, let's do the WNBA Olympic team versus the rest of the WNBA." Great, right? Well, not so great because the Olympic team lost. So that's
after getting scrutinized for their picks.
Yeah, so. Not a great look, but I'm sure they'll go out and dominate the rest of the world. Does Brittany Griner play for the U.S. or for Russia? Does anybody know?
U.S. But you could probably send 2 U.S. teams out there and get on the podium with both.
They would win gold and silver.
Yeah, so that should be a walk in the park because, once again, America is the best at everything. Any other Olympic talks? Any other, what's some low-key sports y'all looking for? That
I got some local news.
Okay.
Actually met 2 Olympians last week at beach volleyball.
You play volleyball against Olympians?
No, I would get destroyed. My wife went to high school with one of the 2 girls on the U.S. Beach volleyball team for girls. And they played together at LSU, and they've continued to train here in Baton Rouge and play all across the world. And they're actually entering the Olympics as the number 2 ranked team in the world. So they should be in the medal hunt.
And to add to that story, one of the uniforms that the beach volleyball team is going to be wearing, they had a competition, and a Baton Rouge graphic designer won the competition. So if you see those uniforms, you know what city's coming from. It's the capital city of Baton Rouge, baby.
Look at that. You can find them all at Mingo's on Thursday night.
Yeah.
I was about to say, so do they compete in this intramural style volleyball? I memean, they've got to wipe the table with these people, right?
No, they would beat us real bad. But that graphic designer, he plays out there. Taryn and drawing a blank on the girls.
Oh, come on, Wade.
Kristen. Yep. They played out there, all through college and then just got really, really good, too good for playing out there. But LSU used to play at Mango's while they were building the facility on campus. So that's where the connection is there. And they're going to have a huge watch party out there.
Cool.
Saturday and then next week during their second and third matches.
So Wade's going to be there because he's going to he'll be there tomorrow playing some volleyball, right? Tuesday night? So you'll move to Thursday.
I'll be playing tomorrow night.
There you go. You'll have to scope out the scene and see if you see any future Olympians coming out of the back.
I got the picture ready for when they take gold. So
there you go. What's a random Olympic sport that we need to be keyed in on here? Random summer Olympic.
I think that's what this Olympic draft is going to bring out is the true sports scramble. I mean, we're going to be watching things that we never knew.
Handball.
What is handball?
They got fencing.
It's like soccer with your hand.
Then they have Jacob and I were looking at all the events. There's this event. I don't know if it's new or not, but it's like a modern pentathlon.
Yes, I saw that. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it entails, but I don't know what's
shooting.
Modern.
I think Hungary is going to be good at that.
Shooting.
No, that's okay. So there is shooting in this modern pentathlon.
Yeah, it's like you do like a run and then you have to shoot. They say that they're the best athletes in the world because they can stabilize their heart like on a dime. Because imagine running a 5K and then like somebody handing you a bow and arrow and saying, "Hey, hit that target."
An athletic event comprising of 5 different events for each competitor: fencing, shooting, swimming, riding, and cross-country running.
Yeah,
that's
imagine
crazy.
doing all that and then having to make a shot.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, that'll be cool. Definitely tune
skateboarding.
Skateboarding.
Is skateboarding one of them?
Mm-hmm. I think Japan will be good at that.
Canada. Tony Hawk 2.0. Squash. You might see that at your local LA Fitness. But yep, it's an Olympic sport.
I think that, maybe whenever the U.S. is hosting, I think that pickleball is going to be an Olympic sport.
It probably will be. Breakdancing. It's a
breakdancing.
Yeah.
Is that actually an Olympic sport?
Yep. It's called breaking. They're called B-boys and B-girls is what the athletes are called. Baseball, softball. Is it combined? Or is it?
I think it's just softball.
I thought baseball got kicked out.
Yeah, I think baseball's returning whenever the U.S. hosts.
Okay, it says baseball.
And flag football is going to be in 2028 as well.
Yeah, you're going to see Tyreek Hill just stuck.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill. I cannot wait to see that.
I think by then he'll be retired. And he'll definitely
play. We might have Justin Jefferson to March 8th.
Gronk says he wants to. I mean, just because he's retired doesn't mean he can't.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Is
Mahomes is definitely going to want to be the quarterback for that team.
No, I think it's going to be a bunch of retired guys, and they're still going to go kick ass.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, this will be fun to follow. I like the Olympics. Yes. He's gonna be eating W's, eating medals. So
I want to see Jameis on this.
He'd be good at that.
For his personality.
That would be awesome. Tyler, take it away. Fantasy football corner, since we're talking about football.
All right, let's get into the fantasy football corner. If you were with us 2 weeks ago, we went with the top 5 running backs, and now we're going to go on to the top 5 fantasy wide receivers. It's going to be pretty similar format. We're going to be looking back to 2023 rankings to see how it panned out, and then we're going to be shifting our gears to 2024 as the season is quickly approaching. Fantasy football drafts, whether you're doing mock drafts or your real life drafts here very soon. So let's get right into it. First, looking at how we ranked the wide receivers in the 2023 season. At number 1 was Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. And if you watch receiver, you know that he dealt with some injuries this season. I need to watch that.
It's really good.
It is really good, but he still finishes almost over 1,000 yards in only a few games too. So still an impressive season. He did not finish as the wide receiver number 1 last year, but he was still good enough to win your leagues last year.
Number 2. So these are preseason 2023 rankings.
Yes, this was my last year's
rankings. Got it.
Yeah, this was Tyler's rankings. This is not the actual ones. The number 1 wide receiver was the guy at number 4, who's Tyreek Hill, which we'll get into in a couple of minutes. Number 2 is Jamar Chase, was the Bengals. Now, Jamar Chase, not his fault. We did not know that Joe Burrow was going to be hurt for pretty much the majority of the season. So, Jamar Chase touchdown went down last season. His receiving yards also went down as well. But expecting a big comeback for him this season, especially if Joe Burrow's back healthy at quarterback. And then there is a new face at the running back position. Joe Mixon no longer there. So this might be a more pass-heavy offense for the Bengals this season. Number 3, Cooper Kupp. There was another guy that overtook him that we didn't really know about, and that was Puka Nacua. He took over as a wide receiver, number 1. Cooper Kupp coming into last season, coming off of that injury. Matthew Stafford also, we didn't really know what he was going to be, but, Matthew Stafford, he had a really good season helping the Rams make it back to the playoffs. So I think that Cooper Kupp was definitely a miss last year, but we didn't really know. That rookie out of BYU, he was definitely something. Puka Nacua definitely going to not slide under the radar this year, as he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver in pretty much any ranking that you look at. Like I mentioned, number 4 is Tyreek Hill. He finished as the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy. If you had him, he was either putting up 30 or 40 points. Until I remember when I was facing off against Wade in the fantasy playoffs and Tyreek Hill got hurt. And if you were in the playoffs and Tyreek Hill got hurt, it was not a good scenario for you. But really looking forward to how Tyreek Hill advances with this Miami Dolphins offense. I think this Dolphins offense is going to be really good this year, especially with Devon Achane back there in the backfield. And then number 5, Stephon Diggs with the Buffalo Bills. As we all know, he's not with the Bills anymore. He moved on to the Houston Texans, which I think personally is going to be a better offense for him. There's a lot of weapons there. But Stephon Diggs, he did really well last year too. You had Josh Allen be one of the top 3 quarterbacks of last season, so that definitely helped Stephon Diggs' stock into 2023. Now let's close the book on the wide receivers for 2023 and look forward to 2024. And we got a little bit of change here in our top 5 rankings, starting off with the number 1 guy. And he's not on this list. He's actually going to be the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver number 1. And that is going to be CeeDee Lamb. I think that he really had a sensational year last year, really saw it. I mean, ever since that the Cowboys got rid of Amari Cooper, it's been the CeeDee Lamb show there in this Dallas offense. And then you look at the running back position, you don't have Tony Pollard there. You pretty much have a lot of question marks to that running spot, whether it's going to be Ezekiel Elliott, is it going to be Rico Dowdle. So there's a lot of question marks there. And you're really looking at the wide receivers. There's really not many threats to them. You know, you got Brandon Cooks. You have Jake Ferguson as the tight end position. So really liking CeeDee Lamb at this number 1 spot. Looking at his ADP, as we saw in last week's show, Christian McCaffrey went number 1. Right behind him is CeeDee Lamb. So if you're looking to go heavy wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb in pretty much any mock draft that I've really seen so far has gotten CeeDee Lamb being the first wide receiver off the board. So you look at his 2024 projected points, I think that's right around the category that he's going to land this season. I could see, 1,500 yards for him, maybe even more. It really just depends on how Dak Prescott does. I think that Dak Prescott took it to another level last season. I expect him to do the same this season as well with the Dallas Cowboys offense. And then 9.3 receiving touchdowns. That's really good, especially for a guy that you're taking in the first round. So I think that if you're looking for target share, that's what I always talk about, wide receiver. CeeDee Lamb is definitely the wide receiver to take for you. I think that he's going to have a really outstanding season. And he was a top 5 wide receiver last season. I think that he's only going to get better this season. So let's go on now to wide receiver number 2. Oh, you got a question? Go ahead.
Yes. Does Dak's, inconsistencies raise any question there? I'm shocked to see CeeDee Lamb as your number 1 guy.
No inconsistencies at all.
It's the Cowboys. You never know what you're going to get from them. Isn't he entering his contract year, or what's
he might be holding out?
Yeah, that's the only concern. I think
he'll come back.
Okay.
I mean, he's going to come back. I mean, the Cowboys, they'd be stupid to not pay him. I mean, if they let another good wide receiver go, I mean, they let Amari Cooper go, and he was one of their best wide receivers. So, I mean, you really have a question mark. I think that my big question mark with this offense is can they run the ball effectively? I know that they have one of the better offensive lines in the country, but you saw last season, most of the offensive line, they were dealing with injuries, and they had to throw the ball a lot. So I think that this Dallas Cowboys offense, I think that they're going to look for the pass plays more or less than the running plays this season. So you got to switch it up. You can't just go with Justin Jefferson every year being your number 1 guy. I just think that something tells me that CeeDee Lamb is going to be the number 1 guy once this season is over. But it was very close as I had Tyreek Hill going to be the number 2 guy. Whether you have CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill be your wide receiver number 1, I think that you can make a case for both guys. I think that Tyreek Hill there sits number 3 at the ADP. So if you miss with CeeDee Lamb, if you get Tyreek Hill, you should feel very confident in that pick as well. I think that they're really neck and neck. It's 1A and 1B in my case. Looking at the projected points, it's a little bit less than CeeDee Lamb. But, there's more, Dolphins to feed in this case. You got Jalen Waddle. I think that Jalen Waddle, he's probably going to be a top 15 guy. And then you're looking at the running backs. I mean, it's going to be a running back committee. It's probably going to be led by Devon A-Chain. He's receiving back, so Tua's going to be looking for him as well. You got Raheem Mostert, probably going to be your running back number 2 in that Miami Dolphins offense. So as long as Tua can stay healthy, I think that Tyreek Hill can really reach his potential. I think that he can definitely eclipse that 9.3 touchdowns. I could really see him get to double digits. And to project him under 1,500 receiving yards, I think that he could eclipse that as well. So I would not even hesitate picking Tyreek Hill in the top 5, not nonetheless in the top 3. I think that's pretty much going to be your top 3. It's going to be CMC, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyreek Hill. Those are going to be your top 3 guys going off the board. And let's get a little bit interesting here. I'm going to go with the Lions wide receiver number 1. That's going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Receiver superstar.
If you listened to the show last year, I was very high on Amon-Ra heading into the season. If you got him, you loved the way that he did. And, I think that he has some fuel to the fire. Once again, I'm going to be using receiver as a little bit of a source. You saw him get snubbed as a Pro Bowl selection last year, and then you saw how the Lions season ended. I just think that the mantra of the Lions is this is going to be an absolute revenge tour. I just think that this Lions offense is going to work wonders, especially the way that Jared Goff played last season. And looking at the ADP, there is a little bit of gap between Tyreek Hill and the number one wide receiver that I have on this list, CeeDee Lamb. But I honestly wouldn't look at the ADP. I would take him as early as 4. That's how confident I am of Amon-Ra this season. Coming off of a phenomenal season now, you're concerned, can he do it again? I think he can do so as well. I think that this Lions offense, it's pretty much the same offense. They really didn't get anybody. They didn't trade for anyone. And this offensive line is going to continue to prove. So go with the guy that you trusted last year and run it back with him again. So I would go with Amon-Ra St. Brown in the first round. Maybe if he slips to the second round, I mean, shoot, you're going to be jumping for joy, but just draft him. Trust me, get Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're going to love his production in this Lions offense. Let's go on now to wide receiver number 4. It's going to be one of 2 LSU boys on the list. It's going to be Jamar Chase. He's back in the top 5. I mean, if you don't have Jamar Chase in the top 5, I just don't know what you're thinking. He's still one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. You're just hoping that Joe Burrow and this offense can stay healthy. The offensive line still has concern for me. How is this offense going to effectively run the ball? You don't have Joe Mixon anymore. And you have a guy like T. Higgins that, they brought him back on a franchise tag, but maybe in the midseason, maybe they go away from him? Do they trade him? So you just don't know. There's definitely a lot of question marks surrounding him. So I think that Joe Burrow, his favorite target since college has been Jamar Chase. You just got to trust that. The ADP is number 5. So I think that the experts are saying that Jamar Chase is going to be a little bit better than Amon-Ra St. Brown this season. But I just think that this offense, I just have some question marks with them compared to the Lions offense, especially with the help of Joe Burrow. You just don't know how he's going to do for the full entire season. Now rounding out the list. Go ahead.
He was cleared for full go today, just to add that in. Joe Burrow was. So
if he's full clear, then full clear to take Jamar Chase in the first round of your fantasy drafts. Feel confident in that. And the guy that fell from the number 1 spot to all the way down to number 5 is going to be Justin Jefferson. Has nothing to do with him. It has, there's him doing the gritty. You're going to be seeing a lot of gritties in the end zone, maybe not. I think that my main concern is the quarterback spot. Is it going to be Sam Darnold? Is it going to be J.J. McCarthy? And I don't really like both of them. I just don't think they have that high of a ceiling that Kirk Cousins brought to this offense. So I just think that this offense, they have a lot of weapons. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison. You have T.J. Hawkinson.
Well,
so
Jordan Addison
might be in jail.
Might not happen this year.
He's going to be playing week 1. But yeah, I just think that Justin Jefferson, if that's really the only concern for me. If you don't care about the quarterback, then bump him all the way to number 3, number 4 wide receiver. So I just had to bump him down just because of the quarterback concerns, because I don't like either Darnold or McCarthy. But he's still going to deliver you production week in and week out as long as he can stay healthy. Hopefully he can have a full Justin Jefferson fully healthy season. So that is my top 5 wide receivers. So I'll kick it back to y'all. What do you think?
I got to say on the Justin Jefferson note, I think he's going to be a solid producer. But like you said, with the unknowns from the quarterback play, if you ask, now I'm drawing a blank on the khaki man from Michigan.
McCarthy.
Harbaugh. If you ask Harbaugh, he says J.J. McCarthy's the second coming of Jesus Christ in the NFL. So if you trust him, take JJ as high as you can get him. JJ to JJ, you're going to see a lot of those tweets, right? But I think he's going to be your solid. He's going to get he's a reliable guy. It's a matter of if he's going to blow up like he has his first couple of years. And on the receiver front, if you watched it, Wade, no spoilers, but you need to watch it. Amon-Ra St. Brown's father is basically the LeVar Ball 2.0, so expect Amon-Ra to repeat what he did last year because there are no off days in that family. And it also reminds you of how injury prone somebody like Deebo Samuel is, because he's usually a great value pick. A lot of guys forget about him, but he just doesn't play a ton of games because just his versatility. He's very injury prone. And then JJ coming off the injuries. Amon-Ra had a couple of injuries last year, but still, I think, played the majority of the games. Um, I think Jordan Addison's situation is something to monitor because obviously Justin Jefferson's number one wide receiver on that team, but it's how many is he going to have to fend off? Like you said, a lot of mouths to feed on the Dolphins. That's all what you did there, Tyler. A lot of Dolphins to feed. But Tyreek Hill, I mean, he's the CeeDee Lamb kind of surprised me as the number one guy, but Tyreek Hill at 2. He's top 2 if you ask anybody. So I think it's a solid top 5 you got going there,
And
Tyler.
I'll keep this advice rolling. I mean, I'll give 2 sleeper candidates. I'll go first in the middle rounds. Going to go to the Houston Texans offense. I am buying heavy in this Houston Texans offense. I think they're going to be one of the best offenses in the NFL. Give me Nico Collins as a sleeper pick, potentially sneak all the way into a top 10 wide receiver. I know that they have Stephon Diggs, but Nico Collins, they have that connection with CJ Stroud. And if you want a late round flyer, that could be a wide receiver 1 on your fantasy team. It's Xavier Worthy, the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. Especially, you were just talking about Jordan Addison, Rashee Rice. He hasn't had that clean of offseason either.
Yeah.
You get a guy like Xavier Worthy who ran a 4.21. It's pretty much a Tyreek Hill prototype. I think that if you get Xavier Worthy, you plug him in right away because Mahomes is going to find him right away.
I like it. He's going to be their just go route guy. I think you've already seen the post on Twitter. Well, that's good. What do we got next week for the
we're going to go with the quarterbacks, top 5 quarterbacks.
Ooh, quarterbacks. Oh, speaking of CJ Stroud in Houston, who was the guy? He was on my fantasy team, and he got his leg blown up towards the end of the season.
Was it Dalton Schultz?
No, it wasn't Nico Collins. It was his opposite.
Tank Dell?
Yes, Tank Dell. He was a dog.
He was.
And just had that unfortunate injury towards the end of the season.
You see a Houston Texan, even Joe Mixon draft him. I go all in on him.
Texans to the Super Bowl, baby.
Even their defense. I think their defense is going to be good.
I like it. Hidden gems of the week to round out the show before NASCAR Neil. Wade, what you got?
All right. I got to dig up this guy's name, but when I say this, you guys are not going to believe me whatsoever.
I had one and I forgot it.
Braves pitcher, 19 years old. He's playing in the Dominican Summer League. I don't know much about that, even though I'm a huge baseball guy. But his name is Francisco Vicioso, 19 years old. Here's his stats. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 28 walks.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
20 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. None of it came on home runs because he's only let up 2 hits. The dude just can't throw a strike. He has the yips. A 10.00 whip, 84 walks per 9 inning average, and a 60 ERA. And how do you do that? Well, you throw 35 wild pitches and 3 recorded innings.
3 innings, 2 hits. That sounded pretty good for a second.
Yeah.
What coach is leaving him in long enough to have 38 walks in 3 innings?
I mean, I guess with it being rookie ball, it's just, you just figure it out and you don't really care about winning and losing.
Jeez.
Trying to see if the guy has anything in him. I mean, obviously he's got talent. If he made it to the pro level in some showcases, I think he truly has the yips.
Yeah, that's bad. I remember mine. Announced today, the Untold documentaries. If you haven't seen them on Netflix, they're phenomenal. The other 2 I don't remember, but Connor Stallions is getting his own Untold documentary. The story from his perspective. So it'll be interesting to see how he talks himself out of that one. Tyler, what you got? Hidden gem.
My hidden gem is just what the heck is going. What does the Atlanta Braves have to do to have a healthy day for once? They literally just signed Whit Merrifield like a day ago, and he's already hurt. He took ground balls and he hurt his thumb. And then yesterday, Ozzy Albies, he's out for 8 weeks. And then Max Fried, he's on the IL for 15 days. And then Ronald Acuna, he's on the IL he's out for the season. So what the heck? What did the Atlanta Braves do? They had to gather around a circle or something.
They got too successful.
MLB that was my hidden gem too of the Connor Stallions thing. But I just wanted to point that out. What the Braves are going through, just injury prone.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I guess you can have Connor Stallions. The other one we saw a picture of Tiger Legs' Tiger Woods' leg, not Tiger Legs' wood. That'd be something else. That'd be a picture you don't want to see on Tiger Woods' leg. He famously had the accident where he basically drove himself off the cliff a couple of years ago. You always see him in a leg sleeve. That thing is sewn together with some serious stitches. I mean, the scar is like up his entire lower half of his leg. It's pretty gnarly. So if you haven't seen it, go look it up on Twitter. I don't think we could show it because we'd probably get flagged.
Remember to search Tiger Woods' leg.
Yes, not Tiger
Not
Legs.
Tiger Woods 3 wood.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of stuff with 3 wood.
Yeah.
So NASCAR Neil. NASCAR this week is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Brickyard 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. First time to run the oval since 2020. During stage 1, there was multiple stops with drivers facing pit road penalties due to blending into the race surface issues with the unique shape of the track. Hamlin's extremely fast early and takes stage 1. Stage 2 was fairly uneventful with small cautions. Wallace took that stage, which is a huge win for him fighting towards the cut line. And with 10 to go, the battle for the lead heats up with Larson running down Blaney with Brad K leading short on fuel. This forces overtime with a late caution, but Brad K stays out with over 5 miles to go when they take the green. Blaney's also low on fuel now, but should have enough for the overtime. Brad K has to peel off as he runs out of fuel, taking the green, but a major wreck happens as the go green mid-pack in turn 1. Larson starts in the lead on the second overtime and gets past Blaney in 1-2, with Reddick also getting by him. Larson takes the win at Indy using the car he was supposed to use for the second leg of the double back in May and gets to kiss the bricks. Larson bricked up at Indy and kisses some bricks. That's the headline. A semi-full circle moment for him and this track. Also a big moment for Hendricks as they won the inaugural and not the 30th win. A lot in between as well. We now enter the Olympic break, so no NASCAR Neil for the next few weeks. Thank you, NASCAR Neil, for the update. That's all I've got, gentlemen. Quick, good show. We got some Olympics starting up, so stay tuned. Subscribe for that. Anything from you two?
No, I think that's it.
All right, we're ready for football season to get rolling. We got the Olympics
Dynasty going.
Yeah, that
won't
too.
be keeping it under an hour when it's football season.
No, we will not.
Nope.
We'll try, but probably not. Wade, I challenge you to a game of EA college football. Meet me on the sticks in 10 minutes.
All right. Sounds good.
Deal. All right. Catch you boys later.